Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we get another opportunity to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Well, I guess most of you know that all I want is an audience, so shut up and listen. But really, now, what I've learned from my teachers is that my teachers served to be a, they serviced my bullshit indicator, and they made me see where I was off, and they showed me that I had high potential, but there was no guarantee that potential would actualize. I had to work on myself. I had to awaken resources deep within and let my depth bridge the gaps that I felt were there in my life. Bumps in the road? Absolutely. But the bumps in the road helped to constellate the various kinds of archetypes of initiation. They pulled me through the tests and trials. And that's how, as we say in computer terminology, you download from the hard drive of the planet the transcendent function. In other words, you connect to spirit, and that helps you see yourself through. There are so many people who are joyless spirits with no creative arousal, especially when it comes to leadership in our country. So you have to recognize your own inner voice, not to heed it. You do that at your own peril. You're a human being for sure. Things are going to hurt. Consciousness brings conflict. Awareness hurts. So if you don't want to be aware, don't follow this path. I use yoga as the metaphor, but I never say it's the only metaphor, the best metaphor, or that there aren't other metaphors that you could use. But it covers quite a lot. It helps you diagnose what the problem is. It gives you a vision about what's possible. It enables you to have courage to address everything, and then it fuels the vision because you lend energy to it. Now, the self is both wholeness and radiance. And if you want to say that something that the great other demands of you is, yes, your wholeness and your radiance, to put it out into the world, to develop yourself as fully as you possibly can so you're not one-sided. And that's why I like the idea of the four yogas: Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. It wants you to be in a contemplative mode. It wants you to study this stuff and understand it intellectually. Spirit is loved as spirit is known. It wants you to enact it. It wants you to put it into practice, apply it in your daily life. And then it wants you to bring some joy, some zest, some passion, some elan, some vitality to everything that you're doing. I also tried to recognize these in what I would call contemporary archetypal images and not just Eastern philosophy ones, what I call the king and queen, the part of your inner royal monarch who stays solid in spite of everything and doesn't live to just please other people, doesn't knuckle under to the pressure to comply. But it doesn't make them selfish because, remember, king and queen have the vision of the whole realm. So they're nurturers in an all-inclusive way. Then we talk about the warrior function. King and queen is Raja Yoga. The warrior function is like the Karma Yoga, the action-oriented part of you. This is the part of you that tempers your aggression. And here I don't mean going into other people's territory and ripping their stuff off. To aggress means to go towards a goal. Warriors are very focused. Their action is effective and skillful. They draw boundaries. And the most important thing is your inner warrior stands up against toxicity, the stuff that would poison you and kill other people. And so that means you learn to be effective against adversarial relationships and aversive situations. The inner magician or high priest in you is like the Jnana yogi. That's the one that understands all the transformative processes and initiates you in and out of sacred space. Even when the world is torn, they teach you how to detach yourself and see from a high vantage point, like an inner alchemist. And then you learn to get your bearings and not be pulled by the tide or the winds of change or the mob, the morons of the mass mob. And of course, that's Jnana Yoga. And then, of course, there's the lover part of you, the part that wants to affiliate, the part that wants to make love to the environment, the erotic part. And remember, every time I say that, I never mean reduce it to the genitals, although it incorporates it, but goes beyond that, so that you value everything that's other. To be means to be related. You have to learn to love it all. And so I always say, find the egosyntonic thing, the stuff that's right for you, that feels right for you. Follow that. Do your shadow work. But always remember, you can't farm out your vision. You're the one who has to live it and bring it into form.